Hello, welcome everybody. I'm Oda. I got a very special guest who needs absolutely no introduction. Mangoose, welcome.
What's up, Bodo? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, not a problem, man. Anytime. So I wanted to do a video on item concepts because personally for me, items across all of the games are starting to feel a little bit bland and kind of copy and paste. So I guess since you're the guest, I'll let you start off first with and see what you got going on.
All right, yeah. I mean, like you said, a lot of the items are sort of copy paste. I mean, definitely with Overprime, like my support items seem to mirror exactly whatever I picked in Fault. And then the predecessor, I don't know yet. Find out pretty soon. But yeah, and then a lot of them are just copy pasted from Smite or League of Legends. So I think the first one that I came up with, a lot of these are going to be silly and a lot of them are going to be overpowered, but it's just kind of fun to think up new items and sort of come off the top of the head with them. So for item number one, I wanted like to be able to call down like a pillar, just actual impassable environment that you could throw down, not like a steel wall or a Decker shield, but a piece of environment that would stay for, I don't know, just a limited duration, maybe for about as long as a steel wall. I would want it to be about half the size of the entrance to Raptor Pit in Fault. So you couldn't be able to completely block the Raptor Pit off, but a well-placed pillar could keep a lot of people from coming in, and it could separate people out in team fights. It can serve as like be able to body block, that sort of thing. I just think that would be a cool active item to have, especially for supports, but I guess anybody could really use it to just block off somebody's escape or secure their own escape. But yeah, just impassable terrain that you could call down.
I actually have a very similar item later on that I'll get to.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. All right, so my first one is actually a starter item. We actually talked about this one a couple like last week. I call it the trade-off. You take 15% less damage as long as you have this item for a increase. Currently I have it at 50% increase in gold. So that way it's actually worth taking that 15% less damage right at the get-go. So it's a risk reward item to where if you're good enough, it's gonna actually help. But at the same time, the increase in gold has to be tweaked, so it's not like a guaranteed you have to take this item, because I wouldn't want that. It's just 50% for just a concept. I thought was a good spot to start off with. But
I think that would be fun. Just any sort of give and take item like that, any sort of risk reward items are always kind of fun to play with. That I think would come down to your support. I think if you trusted your support enough, that would be a good item to take.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because if you got a support that can't really do too much and you got to rely 100% on yourself, that's going to take a very highly skilled carry to run that.
Yeah. And yeah, I agree that the numbers can be tweaked a little bit. So, I mean, they could kind of figure it out along the way.
Yeah, because I can guarantee 50% for just a 15% decrease in damage is going to be way overpowered.
Probably, yeah.
So somewhere around probably the 27 to 35% is probably the sweet spot.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be cool. Another one I had, passives I think were a little harder to come up with than actives, but I think it's something that passively increases the size of your abilities, like the width would be fun to play with.
That would be really interesting.
Like Gideon Rocks would be just maybe 10% bigger. Or like even Bellica's knockup would be about 10% longer and 10% wider. I think that would be fun to play with.
Oh, that'd make Murdoch much more dangerous. The 10% enlargement on his snipe, that makes that a whole lot easier to hit.
I mean, I guess you would have to limit it maybe, because I think 10% on like a Richter hook would be probably too much.
Oh yeah, that's basically guaranteed hits all game long at that point.
Almost. But I mean, in Fault, a guaranteed hit doesn't mean shit.
It doesn't. Yeah, I had a game with Plug the other day. Like we kept hearing we heard the hit markers and then nothing happened. And I'm just like,
you hear the hit marker, the animation plays and nothing happens.
Yep.
You even get the cooldown reset sometimes.
Oh yeah.
but you
that's
still
the
didn't
worst
get the
part.
pull. Yeah, I just had a game like that where that happened quite a few times.
Oof. Yeah. My next one I called explosive damage. Increased attack speed and damage 35-ish to 50%. Probably overpowered, but afterwards you're stunned for 2 to 2.5 seconds.
Ooh, 2 to 2.5 seconds. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, you better get that kill.
Oh yeah. It's a massive gain. That's what it's there for. If you don't get it, you're toast. That's the trade-off for it. You either get it or you don't.
Yeah. Oof, man. Yeah, that'd be rough.
And
That'd be rough if you didn't get that kill.
Yeah, and the downside is so big. It's like you don't use that right at the start or like the middle of team fights. It's something you'd have to use to clean up when the tank's left.
Again, unless you really trusted your support.
Oh yeah, no, that's. I think this is actually I only got like 2, maybe 3 risk reward abilities like this, or items like this.
Mhm.
But after this, mine get they get a little bit out there. So
That item, if you combined it with, if your support ran Radiant Poise, and while you were stunned, they just poised you to negate any damage you take while you're stunned, and then you come out of the Radiant Poise and you're unstunned, it would still be risky, but it wouldn't be as risky.
yeah, it'd give you some layer of protection on it.
Be a fun interaction.
Oh, that or if you just had a steal who just stunned everybody the entire time.
My next one is also an active, kind of inspired by May from Here's the Storm, which is like a snowball effect. She has an ultimate where she just throws out a giant snowball, it picks everybody up in its path, and it just deposits them somewhere. I think not to that big of an effect, but I think like kind of how Crunch pushes somebody away, just an ability to have a push like that, sort of a Murdoch push, but would affect multiple people.
So
I think
so kind of like a Crunch with a Grim Orb attached to it. So
kind
it
of, yeah.
displaces. Yeah, that'd be really interesting.
Push people, displace people in team fights and stuff. Keep people off your ADC. Keep people off of yourself. Jump in behind somebody and push them under tower with it. I think that'd be a lot of fun to play with.
Oh yeah, that would definitely create some interesting situations as well. Because I could see you going to do that and it just throwing someone like directly to the left or right, and you're just like, you weren't supposed to be over there.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next one is confusion. You randomly change your enemy's controls for a short amount of time. So all of their key bindings just switch.
I've talked about doing this a couple times. People hate that idea. They hate it so
I
much. They
love
just
the
don't.
idea.
I love it too. I think it's great. Like you still get some, like if you can figure it out quick enough, you can still kind of get away.
Oh yeah. And it's one of the things where like you don't need it to have a super long duration. Like even anywhere from like half a second to a second is more than enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I think something like 0.75 would be the sweet spot for something like that, I think.
Oh yeah, or it's just long enough that they're gonna panic real quick and then get back to going, but it's also gonna open up. That would open up ganks from the jungler, or especially if it just takes them right into the jungle, that would be interesting.
Right.
Or if their forward becomes like one of their abilities. Try to walk forward, you throw a grenade with Twin Blast. That's not supposed to happen. What's going on?
My next passive one. So we have like trauma on ability hit, we have slow on ability hit, we have burn on ability hit. I would like to see grounded on ability hit.
Ooh.
Like they can't use movement abilities or jump for like a second after they've been hit with an ability. Like that would help to shut down like a Countess or a Feng Mao or even a Crunch, just to stop that escape. That might be a little too overpowered.
I probably wouldn't have it on hit. I'd probably have it on a cooldown. But for it to be useful,
Well, you have that. You have TT.
yeah. But I wouldn't have it as on the longest cooldown as TT does. I would probably say something like probably every 10 or 15 seconds, so it's there. It's gonna do some work, but it's not gonna be overpowered.
So you can't just keep locking them in place by like a Gideon tripling up on his rocks.
Yeah,
I can see that. Yeah, that would be fun though. Like right now, the only counter and fault that you have that kind of stuff is goblin glue, which you can just spread around you.
Nah.
And usually, if they're on top of you, you're done for anyway. So
Yeah.
It's more of a support item than anything. I would like to see some sort of range on it, like it used to have. Goblin glue used to have a bit of range on it. You could throw that stuff, but
yeah, and then they made it to where it's just kind of right there at your feet.
Yeah.
Which, like, if you're a tank or something, that's not that bad because you can just dive in, goblin glue everyone, and then everyone just dies because they can't get away. But if you're anyone else, it's just kind of, you don't really have a good chance to use it.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so
what else you got?
My next one is going to cause a lot of issues. Fusion. Combine you and another hero for short time. Only 2 abilities can be active. Health and mana regen are equal to half the combined amount of both heroes. So in the current state, if you had like a Chimera and Greystone combined, your health and regen are gonna be kind of nuts. Like, especially if you get Gray's passive and Kai's health regen on hit, basically not gonna die. But
do you have to wear special earrings and do a dance in order to fuse?
Oh, I mean, it's probably gonna help. But you can do that, and then it doesn't really have a limit on who could fuse. So you could get like a fusion of a support carry, a support mid laner. It could get really dangerous. But at the same time, with you only getting half of each of the heroes' amount, health and mana regen, you kind of gotta play it a little bit smart. So it's got its own set of risks, its own set of rewards.
You're talking about 2 players are now controlling 1 hero now.
No, it would be whoever has the fusion card would be controlling the 1 hero. So you kind of gotta hope that the person who actually activates the item knows what they're doing, because otherwise that's basically a free double kill for the other team.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that one, Oda.
Oh, I never said all of them were going to be good. I just said it was an item concept.
I mean, like, Heroes of the Storm, you do have Cho'Gall, which you have to queue up as him, and it's 2 players that control 1 hero. One of them controls movement, and the other one controls is a DPS that acts kind of like a turret on the person that controls the movement. But that's something that you queue in as either Cho or Gall, and then you get matched up with another person that wants to play that, or you just find a friend and you can both play them. But yeah, that's voluntary though. You're talking about voluntarily removing someone's ability to play the game.
just for a little bit. It wouldn't be permanent. Well, if it was permanent, it's just like, well, you're just removing an entire thing. It's like, well, I might as well leave out.
Yeah, I know, right? My next one, this was a kind of a goofy one too. It would be explosive wards. They don't actually give any vision. They're just there, and whoever kills it, it explodes and damages them. I don't know how useful that would be, but that would be funny as hell.
Could you imagine somebody going to take out one thinking that's just a random ward, and they're like 50 HP? They're just gonna de-ward real quick, blows up and kills them.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to do something else, like maybe blow up and slow or something like that for it to actually be viable. But I think that would be funny to have a bunch of fake wards, so people don't know when and where to de-ward.
I actually really I wish one of these companies picked up. I love that idea.
Maybe it explodes and then gives them like fairy fire, like they're revealed on the map for
X amount of time,
the next 10 seconds or something like that. Oh, that would suck for Kalar.
Oh yeah. Oh, but Kalar, for her invisibility right now is in such a weird spot, though. I think that would actually help out a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next one is also another starter-ish item. It's called Pot of Gold. It stores extra gold on minion and hero kills. Gold is stored at a quarter. The extra gold is stored at a quarter amount of the normal gold income. It can only be bought and used once. So it's an early game item that just kind of stacks throughout all the game. And when you're ready to get rid of it, you activate it again and it's just gone. You get all the gold from it and it's done.
So if a minion normally gives you 100 gold, you get 100 gold, but then you get 25 towards the pot?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I can't see why anybody would not take that.
Yeah, because that's going to give you, especially if you get to the late game and you have 2, 3, 4,000 gold stored up, you pop that, you have a good lead. Yeah.
That'd be fun to play with. I think you'd have to have some sort of downside to it too, though. Like if you get killed, all your gold is gone. Or if you get killed, somebody else gets the gold that you have in the pot.
Ooh, that would be an interesting downside to it. Yeah, I like that.
My next one, this one is kind of to counter the offlane ranged meta. It would be move. So you got, boots that do all kinds of crazy stuff, and I hate boots, but I would like to see boots that give whoever basic attacks you a slow. Like if they hit you, because you have items that give attack speed slow and shit like that. Paragon, you had items that if you got hit, they were slowed. I would like to see that in some of these other games and just put it on boots. Like that's not an uncommon item. Like that is something that exists in a lot of games, and that would help out quite a bit with False offlane ranged meta, which I just went up against a Moragesh, and I didn't do too bad, but like our jungler never came over, and it was just over and over. I would get her down to like 10% health, and she would get away.
Oof,
and like
yeah, Moira offlane is a nuisance.
Yeah, it is. But if I had something that would have slowed her down just a teensy bit, I could have had so many kills on her. And I think this would just help out quite a bit with that. And it wouldn't disrupt regular offlaner matchups that much. Like it would still disrupt it a little bit. Like it would allow you to escape. But that would be good too, because if you get doubled up on by the jungler, and if they're both slowed, you can just kind of walk out of it, unless they if they wasted their movement ability to try and catch you. So I don't know. That's an item I would actually. A lot of these items are kind of goofy and funny, but I think I would really like to see movement speeds that give just a minor slow on hit. Nothing huge, maybe like a 10% slow.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. I think that would solve a bunch of issues and then create a whole bunch of separate issues.
Yeah.
So sounds like a good item to me then. All right, and my next and last one, unless I can think of any really quick, Labyrinth. It pulls heroes into a labyrinth. The labyrinth ends when one hero is dead and the winning hero gets boosted XP and gold.
So it'd be like Revenant's old ultimate.
Kinda, yeah. That would be like that. I actually had like 3 or 4 variations of this one. I ended up liking this one best. I had, what was it? I had one that was like similar to Malware's alt, where like it was one of the things where irregardless, one of you had to die before it ended. But I figured late game, depending how that goes, some of y'all could be stuck in there for a minute, 2 minutes on end.
Yeah, I know, right?
So I was like, it's gonna end when one of you dies. So, and then you get a little bit of extra XP and gold at the end, so make it a little bit more worth it. And that would go to either hero that won. So if you lost that fight and you activated it, well, you gave them a boost. So it's one of the things where it's like, make sure you can win the fight, because if not, you're helping the other team.
Yeah. So that'd be fun to play with. The next one I have, this is another one that was in Paragon, and I don't understand why it's not in any of these games yet. It was called a Ring of something, but it's just a passive minion buff. Like whenever you have this card in an AoE, all the minions around you are buffed in some sort of way.
As a carry, I never should have ran that item, but I did as Sparrow, and that helped me kill Chimera so many times.
Just kiting him through the empowered minions.
Yeah, because it's just like they would just always dive me and minions. Okay, hail of arrows, whatever her rapid fire was called at the time.
Yeah.
Like one of the 18 versions she had. And then it's just, he just get melted because either get stuck on the minions or, you know, it's a full wave of minions. He's taking a boatload of damage.
Yeah, I kind of don't understand why we haven't seen that card in that, and Awaken the Emmerich, where you could just completely flip a minion wave to your side.
That one I can see why we don't have that one, because in Fault specifically, that would be kind of broken. Because you got to think about, if you get a inhib down, wait for the, I don't even know what they're called, but the giant siege mission turn on, you flip that whole thing, you get all of them, send them back down lane. It's sold out for I don't know how long after that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's perfectly viable. And then the last one, this is probably the craziest one I thought of. You'd be able to mark someone, and as long as they're under a tower, it doesn't matter if it's your tower or their tower, the tower shoots them once.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of like you hack into their tower or your own tower for one shot. So the people that are just kind of playing and not hitting you while they have minions under the tower, you just tag them with this and your tower shoots them just once though. Or if
I hate you, I'm that player.
If they're so close to escaping, like they're running under their own tower, you tag them with this, their own tower shoots them once, and that might be the kill.
Oh, I hate that idea, but it's so good. I'm that exact guy. If you're under tower and there's only a few minutes or a few minions, I'm not targeting you. I'm clearing those minions and then I'm targeting you, and that's just they're gonna pink. I'm gonna take a hit. Oh, that's good. I don't like it, but it's good.
Yeah, it's a little dirty, but I like it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's definitely what I would love to see more items like that, where it's kind of turning your own stuff on you though. Actually, now that I think about it, I would like to see kind of like a Runic trap card, where it's something that is not easily seen, but if you know what you're looking for, you see it. So you can put it like behind people. It would have to have a fairly long range on it. So the actual stun or root would have to be very short. So kind of like a Murdoch's trap, just with like extra range and less of a duration. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Didn't Paragon in the 3-card system gave you that ability to just throw down Murdoch traps? I forget what that card was called. It might have just been Trapper. I don't know.
Trapper had the on-hit effect.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, that was broken. I ran that on Sparrow. People just didn't get away from that. Because like I think it was like 5 shots and you were rooted, and at that point it was just done and over with. Trapper was broken. All right. Well, with us both being out of items at this point, I guess we're gonna go ahead and end it here. Mangoose, if you want to give all your stuff away.
Give all my computer and stuff?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Give your computer, your house, whatever cash you got in your wallet. You can keep the dogs though. That'll be fine.
No, I'm the Mangoose. Check me out on YouTube. Just let me know when this video goes up and I'll link it. I'll post it so people can find their way to it.
Sweet.
Let us know what they think of these items.
Sounds good. I am Oda. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter. I actually got one thing posted on TikTok. I'm gonna try to get on there a little bit more, so check that out. And of course, since you're here watching this, I'm on YouTube, so if you feel like it, throw a like, throw a comment. If you got a good idea for an item, throw it in the comments below. I'll take a look. And beyond that, I shall see you later.